I think who would play this game is probably all my friends in school. Like, if I could bring this game to school, we would probably be able to like learn about geometry, and it would also be something really fun.
I think this game is for my dad.
He likes it the best, or you think you all liked it the best?
I think he likes it the best.
And how come?
Because he keeps on playing it with he played it with my mom and my brother and me, and then he plays it again with us, and then he plays with Uncle Derek and the guy who made it. It's so crazy. It's so cool. He just loves it. He just wants to keep playing it with everyone.
I thought that the Tournament of Towers was a lot of fun. My children are always stacking things around the house, and we're always saying, no, you can't do that. You can't possibly do that. And they do. And this particular game allows us to do it with things that aren't salt and pepper shakers that are going to make a mess everywhere.
It seems like the whole family. So there's a bit of strategy in there. You can play it on an easier mode with like 5 cards, as we did the second round because we weren't doing so great on the first round. Or you can make it harder for the adults. So I think it's great.
I have never played a game like this before. I think I like it how it is, but like if it was like 1% easier, that'd be pretty good. End of discussion.
My favorite part was the stacking part. It's very intense. Like, is this gonna fail on that? Is that gonna fail on this? Yeah, it's like so intense. Ooh, like this. Ooh, and because I was really scared if it was just like gonna fall or stay.
And how tall was the best one you made?
So if this was the floor, I think if this was the table, it would be about this tall. If it was the table.
Whoa, and where's the table? Where's the table bottom?
If this would be like the way you stack them, that's how high I would make one. The game, sometimes it can actually get you very frustrated, and sometimes it can make you go, oh, that was a good try. And sometimes it can be like, ooh, that was a good move.
Today I came and played the Tournament of Towers with my husband and 2 children that are 6 and 8 years old. If I were to compare this game to other games that we've played, it's like Jenga in that the pieces get stacked, and the higher you go, the more precarious your situation is. However, not all the pieces are the same shape. It's like, it's got a bit of a fantasy end of it in that you have a kingdom and an architect, and so there's a little bit of role playing involved. So the kids that want to get involved from that perspective can really become the architect and be inspired to think things through a little bit differently.
And so who do you think liked the game the most?
I think my 8-year-old liked the game the most. I think he's itching to play it again.
I think the game was about towers, and like who can build the highest, who has the most gold pieces, and I thought it was an amazing game.
We were just coming to Heidi Ho Comics to get some Pokemon cards with my friend Baz, and we stumbled across this game, and it looked really fun. We saw a bunch of other people playing it, and so we decided to give it out a try, and ended up we played like 15 games of it. I really like how you could build your own structure. You don't have to build a specific structure. You could just build any type of structure.
What kind of stuff were you inspired to build?
I was inspired to build like just a gold structure because the more points you get from the gold pieces, and I love just putting my guy in random places. The way I would win is just having the most gold pieces possible, or have the longest tower that you could get.
We came in and you guys were set up playing this game, and it just looked like a lot of fun, and I had the lads with us, so they were eager to dive in, and yeah, we just started playing. It's great. It's really great.
And I thought it was an amazing game. I've never really thought of a game like this, and I think it's a really great idea.
It was really fun. We're gonna buy it, that's for sure.
I played with my family.
I would love to have this game at my house.
It's definitely really fun. I think it's a fun game.
I think my kids were pretty excited, and even if you don't follow the rules, I think that they really liked just playing with the pieces and figuring out how they can fit together and what can fit on top of each other, around each other, or in each other, and really get them thinking about the geometry and the mechanics of everything.
Good luck with it. I think it's great. I'm looking forward to seeing it on Kickstarter and stuff because this seems like the kind of thing I could see this happening. So I think that's so well done. Yeah, well done to you.
Well, we discovered this great little game. What's it called? Tournament of Towers?
That's right.
Yeah, it's great fun. Really good fun. It's like kind of like a cross between Jenga and then you've got the card aspect, which makes it really interesting. Buy this game is what I'd say.
I've grabbed my favorite piece. It's the Flux. And the reason why it's my favorite is because I like Back to the Future, and what powers the car to go back in time is the flux capacitor. See, it kind of has like the same triangle shape.
Oh yeah.
I think it was cool. I loved all the pieces, but I had one favorite in particular.
What was your favorite piece?
The architect.
The architect is your favorite.
Yeah.
How come?
Well, he's one of the hardest pieces to put on, and he's with and he's very cool, and it basically says, "I'm very proud of my work." The architect is actually one of the smallest pieces. He's a very crazy character. He has a little circle at the bottom, so you can place him and it's not that actually hard to balance him.
My favorite piece is it's sort of like a diagonal piece, but it's really helpful, like, because you can put it side to side like this, where you can sort of like place. There's another one that looks like a pair of wheels, and you can place that over. It's a gold piece, or you can also place it like this if you want like the highest tower.
The piece is really difficult to work with because you have to put it on. You have to have it, and then you could use this on the other structures to have it like right here or on top of it. And when you had a structure, it would go like this. So, and sometimes if it's a light structure, it would go like this. Well, not really extend, but like this. And if you put it, the best piece that goes with it is the cone head one, and you put it in there, and you just don't put anything else on it. Otherwise, it'll just tip.
I think that the big pipe is really useful. You can kind of hide things in it, or you can build really tall with it. And I was all about building that tower as high as I can possibly build it.
I say it's medium, because some bits are hard, like when you have to place the round bit in it on like some really random piece, and then it's easy when you just have like the similar pieces that go together.
Not that hard and not too easy, just like a medium. The game was not too hard, it was not too easy.
I guess my first instinct was to go, oh, this will look cool. And then, of course, I immediately threw that away and then went with the small, squat, and contained approach. I like the competitive mode, yeah. But then again, that's, lone wolf, man. I'm a man on my own. Plus, I was too much pressure for me because during the co-op mode, I was scared I was going to be the guy who's going to screw it up. So,
Kids did way better than us, probably. I won in the end, but age and all that. So the first game was pretty cool. I won the first round. I was feeling pretty good about myself. And then my son was catching up with me and was doing really well. And then on the second round, I put the architect in the wrong place. So I had to put him back on the top. And when I did, I collapsed the whole tower. I put the architect in the wrong place. So I had to put him back on the top. And when I did, I collapsed the whole tower. So he won by default. That's how I'm viewing it. It seems like the whole family. So there's a bit of strategy in there. You can play it on an easier mode with like 5 cards, as we did the second round because we weren't doing so great on the first round. Or you can make it harder for the adults, so I think it's great.
It's like a really tricky game where you have to balance things. So the gold pieces are more hard to balance, but the grays are more easier. And the golds are worth points. So like, how many gold pieces you have on your tower is how many points you have. And there's one time where like, sometimes you can like choose if you want to like make it so that everybody is building the same tower instead of a competition. So it's kind of like a family game, but it's actually more tricky. Because like they're in a certain order and you can choose where you want to start from. But you can't like switch them up so that it's easier to do it.
So in this game, what I liked about it was that the cards are dealt, and it's not just a you get what you get and you don't throw a fit type. You get to look at your cards and say, oh, this one I really want. And so you're able to somehow strategize and then pass the pieces that you don't really think you could use or that you might not need to the next person. And then you get another the set from your competition, and you select a card from there. So you have the ability to choose the pieces and be a little bit more strategic about what it is that you're going to do. And then you have the ability to plan out what you're going to do. And I think that is really critical for kids, especially, to not only have the ability to choose their materials that they're going to build with, but also plan and strategize the order of operations in which they're going to be putting them together. So it really gets their minds thinking about, what am I going to do, how am I going to do it, and what's going to make me most successful, how am I going to earn the most points, and most importantly for my children, how am I going to build the tallest, most coolest looking tower.
I really like how it's sort of competitive, where you have to like build the highest tower to fit in that, but you also have to keep it steady so it doesn't fall. Like if it falls once, then you're sort of like out of the game. And there's 2 rounds. The first round, you have to build a 7-piece high structure. In the second round, you have to add on 7 pieces. I would win the game by placing probably the highest, but trying to make enough gold pieces fit in. I would probably place like this, and then place the wheels, and then place a fat piece over it, flat, and then keep on building higher so I can get some more gold and some more, and try to get the highest.
I love the competitive style.
How come?
Because the more competitive it is, the more fun it gets. And if you put the most hardest piece on top of the second most hardest piece, it makes it really competitive. The first round my dad won, and then the second round I won.
It's a combination of planning, architecture, and some really good smack talk. You got to get some. I think the key is to try to talk your opponent into getting their hands shaking and knocking things down. This is a family game to me. I mean, this is the kind of thing where we had a 9-year-old and a 10-year-old, a 1,000-year-old, and and a middle-aged guy, and we just had fun playing it because I think it was sort of fun to sort of talk the kids through and see what the kids were doing to make sense of these, because some of them are some pretty odd shapes to put together, and it was just really fun. My son started building his, and I was like, dude, that's never gonna work. It's just a pile of trash. But sure enough, he got it together and it worked really well. So it's just neat to see how they take something and make it their own, and it's fun to watch. And then it's competitive as well. So.
Well, it's really interesting because it makes you have to use certain pieces in a certain order. So it's not just a case of just grab any piece and just kind of assemble it how you want. You really have to, because you've got to choose which cards you want from each person, and you've got to, I'll leave that card for this person and try and screw them over. So you've got this whole kind of aspect of challenge and working out and trying to sabotage other people as well, which is really exciting.